Hello Taurus, welcome to my channel and welcome to your March monthly forecast. I would just like to say a huge thank you to those that have liked and subscribed to my channel so far, and all of the lovely comments. It's been very overwhelming and I very much appreciate it, so thank you. I will be going with the Druidcraft Tarot deck again with this reading. I would like to give my viewers an option as well as to which tarot deck that they would like me to use each month. So next month I will have 3 different decks to select from, and I will gain a general consensus from everyone, and I will go with the mostly selected deck for that month. So I would like to involve you in some way that I can. I will be releasing some bi-weekly love readings as well in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so as always, it is a general reading, so some of the messages may resonate with you and some of them may not, okay? And the first thing that does come to your mind, the first thing that it's telling you to focus on, that's the first thing it's telling you to focus on first of all. If you just excuse me for a few minutes, I'm just going to challenge for your reading. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'll split the deck into 3. Okay, so some cards wanted to come out. We have the Princess of Wands and we have the 3 of Cups. So, Princess of Wands, 3 of Cups. Some of you are celebrating on perhaps maybe just getting engaged to a fire sign. Aries, Sagittarius or Leo person, male or female. The Princess of Wands, you know, she does talk about bringing in some kind of exciting news as well. So I feel like some of you may have just received some news that's cause for celebration. This could be in terms of work or in career, travel. You know, this could just be a friend and you're socialising very much with. I'm seeing 3 of Cups and Princess of Wands. I definitely see that there's been some news for some of you Tauruses that have come in, and it may have come in unexpectedly. Okay, you may not have been expecting it, but it's been a cause for celebration in some way. And I feel like a few of you are celebrating this news. It could relate to pregnancy. But I do see that there's some positive news. There's definitely some positive news coming in within the month of March. If you've not already received this news, there's some news on its way. Okay, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be adventurous. So it could be, if you've been waiting to hear about news of travel as well, you know, with it being the Wands, it could speak to some kind of movement in some way and some kind of action. It also talks about fast communication as well. So it might come very unexpectedly, out of the blue. Or it could just be a fire sign that comes to you with some news in some way or an idea. So let's take a look at your reading. Okay. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, Taurus, you have the Hanged Man. Okay. So someone is someone is hanging around and waiting for something. Now I've got to say, all of the fire court cards have come out within your reading. So a lot of you, or maybe say a lot of you, are definitely dealing with a potential fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or a Leo person, okay? They'll come out as your external message. They're in your underlying theme, so what's crowning you, and it's the position of yourself as well, okay? This is a person that's very much on your mind, or very much that's having an extreme impact on you in some way. Who's quite a significant person. So this could be, a potential love, or a spouse, a child. We do have the Princess of Wands, and friends, work colleagues. With this being the crown in the underlying position, I also feel that I think a lot of you have been playing the waiting game and hanging around, potentially maybe waiting for a fire sign in some respect or some way. And I see that you are now moving forward, taking action with something. It could be that some of you are moving on from a fire sign as well. In your recent past, you've got the Five of Cups, so this definitely could mean that you potentially just come to the end of a relationship with a fire sign, or a business partnership with a fire sign. I also see that this, the Five of Cups in this illustration isn't someone who, I feel like they may have gone through some kind of disappointments in the past, more than one perhaps. They still remain very hopeful, and it's not about the fact that they can't see the cups behind them. I feel like they're very much aware. I just feel like they're looking out and they're looking forward, and they're not. This could very much be speaking to those who are single, okay? They're just not looking for anything right now. It could be that you're presented with an opportunity of dating someone, and this is someone who is, well, yeah, I will do it at some point, but at the minute I'm not really looking. I'm not looking in that direction right now. So what's put you in the position where you are now? Well, that was what put you in the position where you are now, which is the High Priest, okay? Also known as the Hierophant. So I feel like for some of you, you may have I don't get a sense that some of you may have taken action with making a proposal, or maybe someone has proposed and you've not necessarily, you may have turned it down, or This could also very much be relating to your work environment as well, with the High Priest, okay? Because it does talk about, again, this is, when I look at the High Priest in this card, this is someone who is very happy just being themselves, okay? And I feel like for some of you are perhaps just wanting to be by yourself. I feel that you're very, very comfortable with you in your environment, and I feel like you've got your environment very secure and very stable, and I just feel like, when I look at this card, it's like, well, he's the king of his castle, really, in some way. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like let's say with the High Priest. Right, so I'm just going to say what I see with these cards. But I see that this is a person who's very comfortable with who they are, okay? They're not looking for anything. I'm definitely not looking for anything serious right now. The King of Wands that's crowning you, I feel like some of you may be playing the field a little bit. And that's not to mean anything bad in any way, you know, this is a horse that's running in a field, so I do feel like, because the Knight of Wands characters, if this isn't someone that's surrounding you, and then this could be your energy that you're presenting yourself, perhaps you're maybe being a little bit of a Casanova in some way, and you know, you maybe just out dating as well, but feeling quite happy within yourself. Like, I almost get a sense of freedom with these cards here, almost with a sense of freedom, because now the High Priest can talk to institutions and you know, conforming in some way, but I feel like the message with these here is this is someone who is breaking free and is kind of enjoying his freedom. That's why he's not looking for anything right now. This is a person that's enjoying the freedom. Okay, so in the challenge position you have the Ace of Swords, so I feel like with it being the challenge position and you have the Hanged Man as well with your overall theme, this could very much talk to seeing things clearly, okay? And it could be that, and maybe there is a fire sign around you right now. And you know, this could be, I feel like this is someone that you hold quite dear to you. Someone you hold very, very close to you. And maybe some of you are wanting to be victorious in some way. As I see, the Knight of Wands is charging forward with something. And I see that you have the confidence. So it could be that some of you are going after a fire sign. And it could be that you just may not really see things all that clear just yet. But this card does also talk to you about being victorious as well in some way. And, you know, and it does talk about going through a very emotional time as well. I know the swords speak to your intellect and everything, but there's a lot of water surrounding within this card. So I feel like maybe this is someone who's just, or who's trying to break free from an emotional situation, okay? He's trying to see things a little bit clearer and not be so led by their emotions, okay? So some of you could have potentially just gone through a bit of a breakup or a loss of some kind, and the challenge is you are trying to come out of this emotional period. And I see that, you know, you're trying to engross yourself in many activities, trying to distract yourself, and you're maybe trying to act like everything's okay. But with this posing as your challenge, I still feel like a lot of you are still kind of suffering in silence in some way. Within looking out away from all of these cups and looking out into the ocean, you know, this is a person who is feeling emotional, but not wanting anyone to see him feeling emotional, and not wanting anyone to see how emotional this person's feeling over the losses or the Two of Cups. So I still feel like some of you may be going through a bit of a healing period and a process right now. And I say that because in your upcoming future you do have the Star card as well, which very much talks about healing. So some of you may have potentially just been hurt by a fire sign, okay? I'm going to say that. You may have potentially just been hurt by a fire sign. And it could be that maybe they left you hanging in some way. And maybe you were waiting to hear something from them, you know, that this could be someone that you kind of maybe got a little bit attached to, and you were expecting them to maybe come back, because this is a person who's walking down a path. This could be someone who you're expecting to come back. But with the Star card here, you know, she's very much talks about balancing energies and things, and And again, this is very much, you know, take me as I am. This is who I am. Like me or leave me in some way. Maybe the message here is this sort of kind of balancing that energy as well. Is to maybe not have to deal with things on your own as well. Because, you know, this is a person who is, I feel, is suffering in silence. Okay. It's a person who's kind of suffering in silence, and they're trying to find a way out of this emotional time. Okay. You are healing right now. It could also be that maybe you do have a friend around you that is a fire sign, okay? And maybe to seek them out for some advice and some comfort. The great thing about the fire signs is, you know, they're very much always up for, they're very playful. They can be very playful, and they're very good at being extremely optimistic and positive. And it could be, you know, asking you to surround yourself more with like-minded people like this. I'm sensing a bit of depression with this as well. Okay, so I feel like some of you may be feeling a little bit depressed right now. And I say that just because all of this is kind of surrounding you, and I feel like it's asking you, you know, to go out and celebrate a little bit more and have a bit more of a playful attitude, okay? And stop waiting around for something to come in, okay? Let's take action. There's a fire. The Knight of Wands is an action card, you know. So, in the environment, I do see that there has been a tower situation. So something could have come in and struck your foundations in some way. Maybe unexpectedly. There's a lot of fire energy within this reading. And there's fire within this card as well. So, fire could be playing a significant role within your environment. Maybe some of you are firemen, fire women. Some of you may be just joining the fire brigade, maybe, who knows. It could be talking about in terms of putting a fire out, okay, with the star card being here. There could be a building. I'm just looking at the tower card here, and with a lot of fire energy, there could be some Tauruses out there that's been affected by fire in general in some way. Okay, so you may have experienced some loss due to a fire, and is looking out to the water, because the water puts fire out. Okay, so water and fire. This could also be talking about balancing those two energies as well. So if someone's feeling very passionate about something, or feeling very emotional, and I feel like it's one way or another at the minute. There's not really a middle ground. There's no medium. It's asking you to kind of find a balance between what it is that you're extremely passionate about, or if you're feeling very, very emotional. So what works well is that, you know, they say that water and fire don't mix, which, you know, it is true in some terms, but sometimes water can, you know, kind of cool fire, and fire at times as well can also heat water up. So it could be asking to kind of balance those kind of energies if they are surrounding you. It could just be a lot of hot air around you as well at the minute. So either some of you are dealing with something extremely emotional, or some of you are dealing with something that's extremely intense. Okay, and there is a message here to kind of find the balance, and I feel like for that is to just do some inner work and do some healing within yourself. Okay, a few messages. I feel like, you know, spend more time with friends, or if someone's been drinking and partying too much, you know, this could be a message to say to kind of calm down a little bit, because you have a lot of fire energy. okay? And they can be quite impulsive. And they can do things in excess sometimes, I guess. Some of you could just experience an incident where maybe it was maybe a situation through drinking has caused a fire within the home. Okay. So, in your hopes and your fears, you're waiting to hear news again. You have 2 cards here of news. I think with this coming out as an external message and this being your hopes and your fears, I feel like if some of you are waiting to hear news regarding your finances or a job opportunity or a career move or something like that, it's going to come in, okay? Princess of Wands is here, and sometimes it can come in unexpectedly, when you least expect it maybe. It could be out whilst you're having fun with friends, okay? It could be an opportunity that presents itself, so it might not necessarily be what you expected it to be. It might come in a different fashion, okay? Some news that you might have been waiting for, or something that you've been wanting to forge forward with or make some plans with, because this is in your hopes and your fears. So I feel like a lot of you are hoping to hear news of a potential, some kind of movement in some way. So that could be movement within a relationship or within your work or career or finances. Some of you may be expecting to hear back from a job, or whether you're going to get promoted or not, okay? But in the month of March, there is some news coming in, but it might not come in the way that you think it will. It might come in when you least expect it, okay? I don't see you having to make a decision in any way, although I do see that you might have to see things a little bit differently. If there has been something you've been waiting for, I do see that there is cause for celebration for it, and it might be asking you to maybe just look at things a little bit differently. The Ace of Swords also talks about seeing things a bit differently as well, okay? And with this coming out as your challenge, maybe that is the challenge for you, is perhaps maybe, what I say, cutting things away that no longer serve you, okay? And I see this as you. I see that this is a sword, and I feel like it is asking you to cut away things that no longer serve you. The Death card can speak like that at times, but we don't have the Death card, but we do have the Tower card. The Tower card, is quite known for coming in and disrupting things and taking things away that no longer serve you as well. But when I look at this Tower card, there's 2 people on opposite sides of the tower. I feel like some of you potentially separated. There's been some kind of separation, and it's come unexpectedly. You may have felt like it's just kind of come out of nowhere. And it's kind of just shook you. It's just shook your foundations. It really has. Now it's funny I should mention that, because right underneath the Hanged Man card was the Death card. Okay. So Taurus says you are going through a lot of transformation and changes right now. So I feel like you do need to keep yourself balanced, especially within your emotions. Also as well, if you are feeling very emotional and feeling, I might say, a little bit depressed in some ways, stay clear of the drink, okay? Just don't go out socialising and don't go out drinking if you're in a frame of mind of feeling very sorrowful right now or at a loss of something, okay? Do not join sorrows, okay? There's a lake there. So as your outcome card, we have the Eight of Swords. So I do feel like there's been a challenging time for some of you, okay? And there's lots of mixed emotions. There's so many mixed emotions going on within this reading, and I feel like you're just trying to get balanced, and a lot of it could be due to the fact that you're going through so many changes, and there's a lot of internal transformation going on. And I feel like you're just trying to forge forward through all of this, The Eight of Swords does talk about, you know, being confined within your own thoughts and your own thought process, and the challenge again was the Ace of Swords and trying to see things a little bit clearly, but just give it time. I feel like this isn't something that you can rush, and it's alright for me to say, okay, you know, the Eight of Swords does talk about being able to cut yourself free. There's lots of things here that talk about being bound and cutting free. I'm not going to say that because I feel like there's a lot of emotions. There's a very emotional time going on right now for some of you. And I know with, you know, many earth signs, you know, I think, you know, you do feel things extremely deeply, and I feel like because a lot of the time you're very much, well, you know, I can handle things all on my own. I can do things by myself. I don't need anyone's help, okay? I can handle all this on my own. But sometimes it's kind of nice to reach out to those in times of need and support. But I do see a lot of you going through a healing process, okay? If you are waiting for news to come in within the month of March regarding some kind of finances or anything like that, I do see that it's going to come in, but maybe not in the way that you think it will. When the Death card is here, sometimes things change, and yeah, it might be unexpected, okay? It might have been unexpected, and you might not have been able to understand why this all came about. But again, it does talk about maybe the ending and completing of cycles, so it could mean that maybe you're going through some kind of rebirth and transformation right now, and a lot, you know, you do always come out a better person for it, okay? The Death card talks about shedding what no longer serves to bring in something new, okay? You do have new things coming into you, definitely, whatever news, there's some news that you've been waiting for as well, okay? Right, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. I do hope that this resonated with some of you out there. If it did, please feel free to leave me some comments and some feedback. I'd very much appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic March, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.